Danielita. How are you, Danielita?
Wait.
I'm here waiting. Nice to see your forehead.
There we go.
Down there.
Hey everyone.
How's it
going?
How's it going?
How's everyone doing?
How's everyone going? That's because how's it going is works.
Okay.
That is a thing.
So how is everyone going? Would be our thing.
Going good.
Is going everything good?
I think we're good. What did you put play there?
Oh, by accident.
Oh,
I was trying to look.
You had paused it.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I paused my reproduction of the video, but not live.
So when we do a live, it always reproduces?
Yeah, it shows how it's showing at that moment, and that's how I know we have a kind of a delay.
Oh, there's always
sometimes.
like lag.
Yeah.
No,
but
there's always like pretty big
so
lag.
it shows how everyone's seeing it.
Okay,
So.
good. So how are you doing?
Hey, Paul. Hey, Emery.
Emery,
how are
Paul.
you?
How's everyone doing? So today is this is going to be your second response to our visual conversation. So this is pretty exciting. So do you want
pretty nerve-wracking?
No,
I would say.
You're a pro. So yeah, last time it was amazing, which doesn't mean that every time we have to do amazing stuff. I mean, no. We just have to answer.
Maybe we can do a little recap.
Sure.
I mean, I don't have your image here.
No.
But you can talk a little bit about that.
Putting me on the spot.
Maybe to see if some people join.
Let's see. So the idea is that I propose an image to Danny, and then Danny answers back a week later. This is all done every Monday. So a week later, you answer back with an image to me. So our first images had to do with, I would say, with our own work and space, and how space relates to our own work. And that actually kind of trickled down to the image that I proposed to you last week, which was, yes, more about space, but also more about, I would say, perception maybe, or the place that you occupy when you want to observe what you want to paint. If your art has to do with observation and perception, because many art doesn't have to do with those things. But so that's what I proposed to you, like a very honed in, almost like I subjected myself to a very honed in image of something that, almost like putting myself on the spot, meaning that I've always thought of myself as somebody who would feel comfortable in any scenario that I could be put, any non-stressful scenario. We're not talking like, just ridiculous scenarios, but in any scenario that you put me, I can think that through the company that I can understand painting is for me, I can find something there that gives me peace. I'm trying to avoid saying things that sound like you could put me anywhere and I can make a painting out of anything, because that sounds so grandiose that it's like, bleh. I don't like that argument. I really don't. So we've often spoken about how painting does not, it doesn't transcend things. It's not as if, here's, a glass jug and nobody cares about the glass jug. And suddenly you paint it and it's like, oh my God, I had never seen, the glass jug seen through the eyes of an artist. Like, we're so thankful that a painter showed us that we were missing this beautiful thing that really is a glass jug. And the painter is reminding us that we should look at nature like more keenly. I don't like, I get that, but I don't like that. I don't. I think that that sort of stance feeds the ego of an artist a little too much. A little too much. And the ego of the painter. Because it gives
too much power to the artist. I mean, it's like the things you decide to do are the things that have like a higher value.
Right.
Which isn't
or you're taking them, like painting elevates stuff. Like
exalting?
Exactly, exactly. Just because you paint something, it's almost as if like, oh my God, there's like, 600 years of Western painting that is going to be like, it's propping everything up, like, bringing it to the heavens just because you painted something. And it's not true. It's just a painting. It's just a painting. So I think in many ways we are dealing with what does it mean to converse, in the way we are just talking right now, but through a painting, through the aid of a painting. It's
and
almost
not
like
only the painting, but also this conversation we have when we socialize the painting, which I think it's like equally important.
Yeah.
Like not only the image, but the conversation around the image.
It's almost like the conversation starter.
Yeah.
It's like the pretext to begin to converse about something. So they're both equally important because we need the painting as a sort of little firecracker to begin, to set everything in motion. And then we need our relationship so that we can, have conversations.
But it's also cool because I think it's a starter, but it's also like a closing. Because I think it closes the previous conversation.
Yep.
But it opens the next conversation.
Yeah, new beginnings.
And I would like to say that I thought I was going to be less nervous.
Yeah.
But
even more? If that's
like
possible?
Equally. I don't know. At this moment, I don't even know how to compare how I'm feeling. So,
do you want to start? Yeah, sure. However you want to do this.
Okay, so this is going to be maybe a little bit different. I was going to say weird, but yeah, maybe a little bit weird and different. Because I think the answer I gave makes sense because of what I'm going to read. It's something I wrote after I decided to answer with that. But it's like trying to give everyone and give you like a little peek into my brain to how I got to that answer.
Perfect.
Because maybe if you just see the image, it's going to be like a little bit weird. But don't expect like a super elaborated text. It was just like a flow of conscious.
Yeah.
Trying to figure why that was the answer I felt I needed to give to the painting you did.
Perfect. Awesome.
So.
I'm
so nervous.
Oh, dude.
Okay.
Just start and it's going to be easy.
Maybe I'm going to make some mistakes reading.
We always do.
But
we always do.
So, as soon as we finished the live stream, I was completely lost. I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I went to the fridge to get something to drink, trying to win some time before I had to sit down to work. And I saw the peach tea you bought and you dislike because you like the lemon one, so I poured what was left of the bottle of peach iced tea in the glass and head to my desk. I started drinking the tea and opened my phone, and I felt guilty for wasting time because I had to start the response as soon as I could. So then I focused and thought about the painting, the corner of our entrance bathroom. I head there, I looked at the corner, I went out, I took Maripolvin, which is her tiny vacuum. I vacuumed the corner and I thought, maybe I can paint Maripolvin. I finished vacuuming the corner and continued to vacuum all the trims of the bathroom. When I finished vacuuming, I took a photo of Maripolvin, but I wasn't convinced. So I thought about the scale of the painting and how we talked about how strange it felt because we always see that specific space downwards. So I put the phone with a timer in top of the sink, and I stood still in the corner to take a picture of myself, thinking how I could talk about the same space but with a different perspective. But the picture looked weird, and I couldn't get the angle that I wanted in my mind to translate to a painting that talked about proportions. So I tried with a selfie. It looked weirder. So then I looked up and I thought I could paint the same exact corner, but not the one on the floor, but the one on the ceiling. I took a picture from the top of my head looking upwards to the corner where the white ceiling meets the white walls in a total wide angle. Not interesting at all. So then I went to my desk where I left the iced tea because my phone's battery was running out and plugged the phone to the charger and started my timer to do a 25-minute brainstorm of what I got from the conversation and what aspects of it I wanted to address. I left the phone charging right next to my iced tea on the desk. I took my iPad, my laptop, and I sit on the couch. So I started typing all the things I gathered from the conversation. Number 1, painting the same subject matter for the rest of your life. Number 2, changing the point of view from where you usually see things. Number 3, Maripolvin? Question mark. Number 4, space. Number 5, the time everything needs from you, not the time you want to impose. Number 6, dust, cracks, and the passing of time. The timer goes off and I went back to my desk to stop it, thinking how 25 minutes passed and I still had no idea what I wanted to do and how I needed to have an idea quickly because I'm a slow worker and we were traveling Friday through Sunday with my family, so I had less time to paint or draw or whatever I wanted to do for my part of the correspondence. And I only had a list with 6 key points of the conversation. I grabbed the phone that was plugged to the charger and bring it near me with the urgency to try to stop the timer that was still ringing. Without realizing, the cord was right behind the glass of iced tea, so the cord knocks the glass and I spilled the tea on the desk. So I ran to the kitchen for a paper towel, frustrated, thinking how I had lost many time and I still had no ideas and now I needed to spend more time cleaning the mess I did. I go back to the desk, running, standing right in front of the desk with a paper towel in my hand, looking at the tea that was all over the desk with the glass knocked over. I sit on the chair, staring at the mess I did, and I thought, time. Number 5 in my list, the time everything needs from you, not the time you want to impose. So, now I'm going to show the painting.
Yeah. Are you, how do you want to do it?
So do you want to see it first?
Yeah, we've done that, but however you want to do it.
Okay.
Oh, that is so nice. That is so nice.
So, yeah, there you go.
That is so nice. That's excellent.
Thank you.
That is so nice. I love what you wrote, by the way.
You do?
Love what you wrote.
Thank you.
Love it. I mean, I would, if I was writing that, I would be blind to what I was writing because my mind would be so busy trying to think of what I need to paint that I wouldn't be giving enough attention to the things that I was writing that are probably the things that I need to pay attention to. So the kind of doors open up in front of me to finally figure out what I want to do. It's brilliant. I love it. You know what I love immediately about it?
What?
That they're not linked.
Yeah, that's why I told you
It's amazing.
I wanted to talk about that because in my mind, they're super linked because they talk about time and they talk about, like, I wanted to read that as I wrote it because I was super stressed. So I was thinking, like, I have no time. I have to do this super quickly. I have to do this in time and time and time. And then I realized that one of the things I liked more about the last answer you did is that we talked about how the things need some time from you and you can't impose the time you want. So for me, that was like the world saying to me, time. I mean, you can't impose time.
Yeah. So one thing we can't control, I feel. Like the biggest thing we can't control.
Yeah. And as soon as I saw all the mess I did and it was like dripping to the floor and I was super frustrated. So I sat on the chair and I just looked at that and I was like, ugh. And in that moment it was like a switch and I was like, that's the time I need to give things and not the time I have to impose.
Yeah.
So.
No, I love it. I mean, you took it, I was being a little too literal maybe, and you're taking it,
you were being literal with
in where I said that the in terms of the image, the spill and the source are not linked.
Oh, okay.
I adore it.
Oh, I thought. Oh, yeah.
I know. You went with it, and that's super fine.
No, I
because
thought you
that
were
word,
talking about like your painting and my painting were not linked.
Oh no, they don't ever have to be.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's amazing.
I
And-
gave like a
Oh yeah, go
5-minute
Go. Dude, go crazy. Like
explanation to
you
something
can
that
go
wasn't.
like off in a tangent for like a half an hour, even if that's not what I meant. Like if that meant something to you, you can go ahead. Like this is all you today. But yeah, it's amazing. I love that there's a void, there's a gap between the jar and this kind of flowing stream, which is a very inviting stream. Like it's a road almost. And like if I position myself as a viewer, and I try to access the painting through this kind of puddle of a road, I can't get to the source. It's almost like Yellow Brick Road, like Wizard of Oz. That if you follow the Yellow Brick Road, you get to the Emerald Castle, and that's where the wizard is. This is like the Yellow Brick Road, and you can't get to the castle. I love that gap. I love it. I don't know what it is, but it's so strange to me, and it kind of it's not it's a very soft edge. It's probably the softest edge in the painting. That's crazy. That's crazy because I would have never had the guts to do anything like that. It's so small. It's such a it seems like such a nothing decision that just makes everything super magical. Because I would have thought, no, I'm describing stuff. Like everything else has a hard edge. Everything else, like I could pick up with tweezers, except that edge up top. It just kind of fades, into ether, and then it reappears inside that glass. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's super, super poetic, and I love that the I'm always super afraid of horizon lines that are straight. I don't know why. I've painted some of those because I think I use them as a crutch when I paint them, just to give myself a bit of security, but I don't like them. So I end up painting something that always freaks me out a little bit. But I'm far more comfortable when they're skewed, when there's an angle to the horizon.
It isn't as straight.
Oh, I know. That's what I like.
Okay.
I love that it's at an angle. I really, really love that it's at an angle. It just feels, instead of feeling like a table or anything else, it feels more like an organic horizon line. Like it can be a space, and you have no idea how grand that space can be. That's amazing. Just by dropping it a little bit and giving it like a tiny little slope. It does that to me. I don't know if it does that to people, but this is our conversation. So, no, it's incredible. And you are so like, my stomach is hurting to notice how, clean you are. It's very painterly still. Like you are painterly because I think you paint gouache with, a lot of body. Like you always feel comfortable just using heavy bodied gouache, I think. Like you don't do a gouache painting like many other people do, which is totally fine, which is like you start kind of like a watercolor.
Oh no, mine is
and you build
always
up.
like straight
You
from
always
the
build up.
from
You
the
always,
tube.
From the start, yeah. Always build up, which is it's just really crazy because handling gouache like that is very difficult. Super, super difficult. And, in your hands, it just feels like it's not difficult, which I know it to be very, very difficult to do. And you went with those ellipses, which you're crazy trying to do that jar.
I mean, it's kind of wonky, but
No,
because I was gonna say I've never done ellipses or like that kind of perspective.
Oh, forget it. It's perfect.
Because it's like a jar, and I also wanted to say this because then when I ended the painting, I was like, oh, this is like full circle
Mm-hmm.
from what we did before,
Mm-hmm.
because the carvings
so?
you did
Okay.
of for the first answer
Yeah.
were in
In
this
one of those jars.
like that
In one of those.
mason jars.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because that's the same of our glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And you did a jar like an object, and I did a space. And
Yeah.
now you did a space, and I did an object. So I was like, oh.
It's so funny that we're having like all these reflections about space, you know, because you also like, I mean, we deal with it differently, but I think we love like people.
Mm-hmm.
We love people, or like the character of human beings, and that could, and how that can animate like other objects or other, you know, other characters. But and it's so funny that we've kind of iterated on the relevance of space, which is, when, you know, I mean, you are more versatile than me, I think, because I'm kind of set on my ways about what I usually paint. But that it's so refreshing, I feel, that we are giving ourselves a chance to say, okay, we got to paint something, or we don't have to paint.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's happening to me? Because we are keeping these paintings from each other while we're doing them, like, I can't paint you. And I've felt this big void of saying, I don't know.
Like you can't say,
Like,
Danny
I don't know.
posed for
Right,
this.
right.
Or,
And there's been times where I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to paint if I don't paint you, which is pathetic. I mean,
No,
it's
that's
nice.
sweet.
It's very nice, but it's pathetic because it's like, I either paint you or I die.
No, that's so sweet.
So it's very hard for me to start a painting without thinking, oh, I can ask Danny to do me a favor, you know, for this painting. Or, you know, I like you. It's not as if you're the well that I always go to draw like some of this, you know, water that I need to paint. No. It's just that I like painting you. So it's not like you're my muse, because you know that I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
I really don't like that
That's
at
like
all.
an antiquated
I
way
don't
of
like
thinking
that.
about
No,
it.
not at all. But it's just that I've been focusing so much my gaze onto the people that I love and the people that are closest to me, that it's very hard for me to see a universe outside now, which I'm kind of scared for myself, because it's almost as if you're staying for too long inside, and suddenly, you know, you open up the blinds and everything just, you know, the light just is so strong that you can barely see. I kind of feel like that. I'm a little scared that I don't know if by trying to focus in on what I want to do, I've become like a smaller painter, which I'm totally fine. Like a smaller painter, I feel like
that you limited what you
no,
wanted
it's just,
to?
I don't know. It's as if the planet where I paint became smaller, like Little Prince almost.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost as if my world is becoming smaller, but I don't know if that's like alienating. Like, I'm kind of scared sometimes to say, and I have to check myself constantly to say, okay, the fact that it's getting smaller doesn't mean that I don't care for other people or that I don't care about what's going on outside. It's not as if like, okay, things that only matter to me are the things that matter in this tiny little universe. I don't think we are not those sort of people. So it's very hard for me to come to terms with my painting just becoming smaller and smaller.
But I think that happens too, because your painting has become more like intimate to you.
Yeah.
I mean, you are talking about your world.
Yeah, but it's very scary that argument doesn't turn into I don't care. I can understand how other people, which doesn't really matter when I'm working, but I can understand how other people would see that, and it's like, oh, you're in your own little world and you don't care about the world, like the bigger world. And I've always thought that it's actually quite the contrary. Like, I think that for some people, I don't mean to say that this works for everyone. For some people, let's say, losing their sense of self is what makes them whole. So for some people, they just want to live in a community and kind of say goodbye to everything that they owned and their family, and they just want to have ties with their community, and they want to strip themselves from every sense of want and yearning, and that's super cool. That's super, super cool. I've always imagined if that's the way, like that's the way to heal everything.
But I don't think there's a way.
No, I don't think there's a way either, because I, like, whenever I've you know, I've been through ups and downs in my life, and the times that I've, you know, had very, very little, and that I'm super detached and I've had to work, it's been super tough. It's been super, super tough. And for me, what works and what has worked, you know, for the past, I don't know, since I've known you, and since, you know, probably some years before that. So I'm going to say maybe the past 8 years that have really kind of changed my painting. I've noticed that if I kind of concentrate on how to be better, you know, for that smaller group of people, then that gives me a better sense of what the idea of better is.
Yeah, and I was also going to say that I think if you want to talk about the world, the
world.
What?
That's JoJo's. I'm sorry, I had to do that.
The only word you've experienced is your world. I mean, you can talk about your perspective and like what you've lived and what the world has been for you, but you can't talk about the world that has been perceived through the eyes of other people.
Right.
Or through the experiences of other people or the relationships of other people. So I think you're not being like selfish, like trying to paint the things you know. You're just talking about the world you know, the world you've been experiencing. So
I think coming to terms with that is difficult for almost every artist. And I think that's why artists sometimes push to try to say things that seem bigger, that seem far more important. That like, oh, this statement can really make a change in this world. Like, if I say this through this painting and it's powerful enough, like it can echo throughout the whole planet and it can make a change.
But I think that sometimes that's when you end up imposing things, like trying to say with your painting something your painting's not.
Yep.
Which I personally don't like, because the thing I like more about painting is that it feels honest. You can talk about like a tiny thing, or you can talk about something bigger and more complex, but if you're not honest, the painting is not gonna feel honest.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, paintings will mirror and will denounce everything that we're trying to hide, I feel. I really, really do feel that. It's very difficult to fool people through, you know, a painting. And I'm not saying that painting is the only thing that can do that. But
you can end up with a cool image.
Yeah,
but it's not
empty
like,
image sometimes.
Yeah, it's not like something that makes you feel something.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, so I by the way, I put it to the side because I was getting super nervous about, you know, just holding it and how nice it is, that I think I'm warping the paper with my sweat in my fingertips. It's amazing. It's really, really amazing. There's so much like dimension to the way you paint, I feel. I think it's very, very subtle. I think there's paintings that open up super quickly when you're a viewer. Like if you're looking at something, it's just like out there. You know, it just embraces you if you're willing to you know, partake in this kind of game of playing the part of the observer. It'll welcome you immediately. And I think there's paintings that just really ask of you to look and to
take more
you know
time.
Right. And maybe, and this painting perhaps was also asking for people to listen to how you went about it. Because I think one of the most beautiful things that I noticed was like the sense of urgency and how you were, it's almost like desperately looking
Yeah, that's
at
why.
what to do. You were
Yeah.
even looking at the same spot that I was looking at. It's
Yeah.
almost like, okay, maybe that's the source.
Mhm.
And maybe I can speak about that source in a different way. So you went there also, which is totally fine. I
Mhm.
think that we could probably ping pong like the same subject matter forever, and it would be super cool.
Yeah, and I mean, we live in the same apartment.
Yeah.
So
So
we do
if
like
we're never gonna step outside, we're bound to paint the same things.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like that you say that about like the feeling of urgency,
Yeah.
because that's why I wanted to read the text,
Yep.
because I think for this specific painting, it's important to know how my brain was going about it, because I was like a mess in
Mm.
my head. I was like trying to get the answer as soon as I could, because I was super nervous about the time I had to do the painting. But also I was nervous because I didn't know what I really wanted to say to
Mhm.
answer to the painting. So I was like doing 1,000 things at the same time, because that's why, I mean, I grabbed the tea. Then I went to Instagram and I was like, no, I mean, I can't be doing this. Then I run again. Then I have to charge the phone. Then I go and take selfie. I take a selfie, then take a different picture. Then I vacuumed everything. I mean, it's like
Oh yeah.
I was all over the
we
place.
should we should
Oh, I can bring
you should-
Mari
do you want to
Polvin.
do you want
Yeah.
do you want to bring Maripolvin?
Yeah.
I'll wait for you. I won't say stuff. So I'll just tell people what Maripolvin is. We have a very small, almost like useless little vacuum cleaner. Like it has like a one, AA battery maybe. Two AA batteries. I mean, the thing loses power like 2 minutes after you turn it on. But Mariquita, for us, it's a ladybug.
A ladybug, yeah.
And polvo, is dirt. So
this
we,
is our little
we make
vacuum.
ridiculously dumb wordplay with Danny, always, like super, super lame. So this is Maripolvin.
Yeah.
Because Maripolvin came after,
J. Polvin, which is our robot vacuum.
yeah, which is our what are they called? The brand or-
Roomba.
Our Roomba. And it took us like a week to name it. And we ended up with J Balvin.
Colombian
But yeah, J Balvin.
singer.
But we changed it into J Polvin.
Which is like
Again.
J Dust. Like if it was
Yeah.
Dustin,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah,
Like
Dustin Timber.
Dustin Timberlake. That's a really good name for a vacuum.
That would have been
So
super good.
after J Polvin, we bought this one. So we named it Mari Polvin.
Mari
So
Polvin.
Mariquita and
Yeah.
Polvin.
So that's amazing because I've never seen a more useless little vacuum cleaner in my life.
no,
it's useless.
I
It's
use
completely
it a
useless.
lot.
You use it,
Like I use it
but
to,
I think you
to
use it
take the dust. For example, if I
from
erase,
one place to another.
No,
Yeah,
if I erase when I'm drawing,
yeah,
I use it.
yeah,
Like, cause sometimes you have to take all the residue from the eraser,
yeah.
and it goes all over.
All over.
So I just like pass it. I
Yeah.
turn it at once, and it's like whoop, perfect.
Yeah.
So
So-
you've used it for
Oh yeah,
like
begrudgingly.
super complicated stuff. So the poor Mari Polvin has.
I mean, stuff that you would expect a little vacuum cleaner to pick up. But no, completely useless. But she's still part of our family, I guess. You use it. You have you always like you love smaller things. So I know that.
like cute,
Yeah.
like the small version of something.
Yeah. So I know
I
that
love it.
that you like that little vacuum cleaner has a life for you.
Mhm.
Like there's a character in there that you care for. So I think that in your brain, if you don't use, Maripolvin, like it's gonna be sad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, I have to, like, Maripolvin will find purpose when it tries to suck up dirt and sucks at it.
No.
So
when there's, for example, breadcrumbs,
Yeah.
it's like the perfect thing for the breadcrumbs. I mean, because you don't want to take a vacuum out,
No, I
or
just
you don't want to like vacuum the.
I throw them to
table?
the sink, or I throw them to the floor and then I sweep.
I don't.
That's my
I
technique.
take maripolvin and I just
And you spread them
use
around.
maripolvin.
So
Yeah.
but well, she had to make a cameo because
Oh, yeah.
Is a
'Cause
she?
I- 'cause-
She? Am I
yeah.
okay, or it's just
No, it's-
Maripolvin?
For me, it's a she.
A she. So okay. So she had to make a cameo, and what I was gonna say also about the sort of desperation that you felt is that, you know, all this kind of like imposed desperation. Well, it was imposed, yes and no, because we were leaving this weekend. We never take trips.
Mhm.
Never. We never travel. So this is the first time that we were traveling with your sister, her partner,
Yeah.
your mom and dad,
Yeah.
me and you. First time.
Mhm.
First time in like,
In 6 years.
Yeah.
Almost 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
which is a crime. But
which,
you know,
I mean, we used to, I don't know, we can have like a reunion here at our house.
oh, yeah, no,
But
no, we've been together,
we've
but
never been traveling.
we've never traveled together, and it was super nice. It was very, very nice. Your sister set all that up, and she's amazing. They're both amazing. They're an incredible couple. Being with your mom and dad, amazing. So it was important for us to do, you know, to do that this weekend. And you were rushing, trying to say, oh, you know, I have 3 days
Yeah.
that I can't use that I would have used to paint something.
Or I would have to take the thing that I was doing and like work while I'm in the
Oh yeah, you
trip with my family.
you thought about
which-
that, which would have been
yeah.
terrible. I mean,
yeah.
which would have been terrible.
Because I wouldn't been invested in the
No.
painting, and I wouldn't be invested in the trip,
it was much
which
better
is like
to invest in her in getting sunburned.
I'm a little.
I am
I
a
don't know.
lot. I am a
Looks, but-
lot.
Yeah.
My back, I can barely sit.
Yeah.
So you know what's amazing? Oh, so let me finish this idea about like just trying to rush and feeling like this desperation that you don't have time. That when you spilled something, it is the moment, you know, it's supposed to be the moment where you are most, you know, annoyed by it and desperate, and you go like,
Yeah.
you know,
I
for
was,
F's
I
sake,
mean-
like you just go get a paper towel.
Like
and you
my
have to-
eyes were tearing when I was grabbing the paper towel. I was like, I
And you have
can't
to rush, you know,
believe
it's going to
me.
get sticky, or you don't know where it's going to seep into. And, you know, all you're thinking is like, I got to blot this thing. It's a mess. Oh my God, I made a mess. And this all happens because I'm trying to rush. And I think it's beautiful that when this moment of, you know,
like the
apparent
peak of
desperation,
stress.
the
yeah.
one moment that would have been justified for you to like say, "Oh my God, I need a paper towel because I made a mess." It's where you found like the most clarity. Like it's this, you know, this kind of spill in slow motion, like opening up, you know, these doors in your brain. I think it's amazing. I think it's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Because you know me, though sometimes I get frustrated with those moments. I'm like, fuck, you know, I growl
I was gonna say not sometimes. I mean,
all the time.
because when you have like that something that is like the tip. No, I was gonna say the tip of the iceberg, but no. But like the la gota que
La
rebosó.
gota que rebosó la copa.
Yeah, but
Let's say it in Spanish.
yeah. No, when you're stressed and you have something that's like building and building and building.
It tips you over the edge.
Yeah, and if something goes wrong,
Yeah.
I mean, you're always super patient, but in that specific
Volcano.
situations, you're
Erupt.
like, yeah. And you're like, oh, I hate everything. No, go away. Everything go. Like,
Oh, yeah, I don't-
you're just like,
Oh, yeah,
You
I can't deal
can't
with people
deal-
like, is there something wrong? Can we help?
but
Oh
you
my God.
can't even deal with yourself. You
Mm.
have like to
I have to growl.
pause
Yeah. I
and
have-
like to try to recompose yourself.
Yeah.
And then you can deal with the thing you were
But-
dealing before.
But my immediate reaction is to curse. I'll curse quite a bit.
I always
I'll-
ask, what's wrong? And you're
Oh
like,
my God.
I can't talk at this moment.
Oh my God, you kill me with that. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Oh my
but,
God.
but it's me trying to be nice.
I
mean,
know. Or telling me like, I know you're not going to accept it, but do you need my help?
Mhm.
And I probably have to be dying in here for me to say, yes, come in, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually curse, then I growl. For some reason there's this like small animal that comes out, and then I have to like I
Yeah.
breathe.
And also you have something. I mean,
What's
I
that?
don't know if you've realized, but your face
Oh,
stays like this for like 2
frown?
hours. Yeah, you're calming, like you're getting calmer and calmer, but
Yeah.
your face can't handle the situation.
no,
So it just like
the brow just
Yeah,
freezes.
it
the
just
frown.
stays like this, and then it kind of relaxes, but slowly. I mean, I can know that you're still stressed because
Okay.
your face is showing that you're stressed. I mean, you're like, I'm fine, but your face is like, no, you're not. You're
yeah,
not
very
that fine.
instinctual. I really, I don't. I know I can deal with that, but I have no control over it. I apologize for that because I'm not.
No.
I know I'm not at my best when those
No,
tiny
but
little things
I mean,
happen.
you're never like rude or whatever.
No,
You're
I'll never
just
take
like,
it out on you. I'll just take it out on
No. It's
the-
like the tiny things that go wrong when you're stressed,
yeah,
like just build your stress to like 2000.
and it
I mean,
explodes, and it literally
but
explodes.
it's not like
and
you
then it just-
exploding to everyone, like
No,
shut up,
no.
No, you're
No,
never like
that's
that.
why I much rather just I'll stay by myself.
Yeah, you just like have
and
to.
then I just kind of diffuse. I
Yeah.
go like, and that's it.
Yeah.
Um,
But no, trust me. I mean, I think I handle, like, sometimes I'm super stressed, and as you say, I always do. I mean, I'm the person that if I can't do something in the computer, I just click like 20 times.
yeah.
But like I'm calm, but inside I'm like burning and clicking and clicking. And for me, it was also like the peak of stress.
Mm.
Because I have wasted like almost all the afternoon,
Yeah.
and I was like trying to do everything to get a super quick answer
Mm.
to the response. And at that moment, I was so frustrated because I was running because I didn't want the tea to like start dripping.
Yeah.
But I took the paper towel, and then I was like, no, one isn't enough. Then I got the other, and I run, and I just saw everything. So I was like so frustrated that I just like sat on the chair. Like I needed 1 second, and that second was the one I needed to see
It's
what I
incredible.
wanted
It's
to
incredible
answer.
because we never, well, not we never, but we don't usually see those moments as enlightening moments. You know, moments of crises, even if this is like a tiny little crisis, like this is a micro crisis, like I spilled something. In the grand scheme of things, it's not as if you spilled something in your computer and now you lost your brand new computer.
Mhm.
You know, you ruined your computer. That's where all your work is. That's, you know, that can have like consequences if that's where you work, which happens to be where you
Yeah.
work.
And I was super lucky because I decided to take the laptop
Mm-hmm.
and the iPad to the couch
Mm-hmm.
to do the brainstorming. I mean, if it
Ah,
wasn't
so
for that, I would have
The universe
knocked
was
that-
on your side.
Yeah.
At that moment.
yeah.
So, but if you think about it, it's nothing. It never matters. Like those
No,
tiny little things.
But it's something that you feel like if it was the world laughing at you.
yeah.
Like another obstacle. It's
Yeah.
like I can't deal with myself right now, and they do like boop, something goes wrong, or
Yeah.
boop, you break the glass you were washing, or whatever. It's something
Yeah.
like it's always like something super tiny, but that feels like the worst thing that could happen at that moment when you're stressed.
Well, we're about to put together a thing for our TV.
yeah,
what do you call
that's
that?
a console.
Okay, so a console. And it's as if you're just putting it together and it looks nothing like the picture, and you know you did something wrong, and at some point you just, hammer your finger.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the frustration. It's just like you're not going to break your finger, but it's just like, of
And-
course this needed to happen also.
And which is funny. I don't know if that has happened to you, but in that example you were giving, I mean, you hammer your finger and then you're angry with the hammer. I don't know if that happens to you. You're like, oh, this hammer, because that happens to me. I mean, when I'm frustrated and I don't know, I tip with the chair while I'm walking.
Oh, stupid chair.
I'm like, this stupid chair. Like,
Stupid
I
chair.
hate this chair.
The stupid
And then
leg
it's like
stupid leg of the bed.
Of the bed, yeah.
Yeah. It's always. Oh yeah. If I didn't exercise like the smallest amount of control when I've hammered my finger, I would drive that hammer into everything that's around me. I would just hammer everything. It would like break everything.
Yeah, but you know what's the difference with me?
Mm.
That's why I'm saying like I'm burning inside, but outside I like try to keep everything super calm. Because when I have that sort of things, you're like, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. But inside I'm like the meme, of the dog.
Yeah.
Like sipping coffee while the house is burning.
That is like a tough thing about you, because many times you say, I was very nervous. Like I couldn't speak. I was very nervous. I thought I was burning up. And I see you from the outside, and I was like, there's nothing about you from the outside.
Because I was going to puke when I was reading. I was super nervous too. Because, I mean, I was nervous about showing the painting. I was nervous about what I wrote.
Yeah.
And, like, I felt that all the spotlight was on me when I was reading.
Yeah. Reading is tough sometimes in public.
So I was
if
super
I had that,
nervous.
Sketchbook, my hands would have been like,
No, I mean, it was
or
my
your
phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like having it here, trying to like cover my face.
You know, glue it to my hand.
Oh, but I was super nervous.
Yeah, I'd like duct tape it. No, that's pretty amazing. Like what happens to you outside, inside. I've always thought about myself that it's kind of different. Like if I get nervous, I'll flush a lot because I'm like super fair skin. And I'm like super shy. So it's like everyone knows that I'm nervous or shy or that I'm having a hard time.
But I think that everyone notices. And you're always like, no, you were fine. But I feel...
In your case?
Yeah. But I feel like I'm just like cracking. I mean...
Oh, trust me. No, trust me. You feel like super in control. Super in control.
I'm not.
Yeah, I have the blessing of my body letting everybody know that I'm not in control. Like I'll get like red blotches in my neck. Like it's a mess. It is a mess. So but again, it's super cool that at that peak of what would be like genuine desperation, it's almost like everything was working against you. Like so much so that you don't spill things. So, you know, it's like, what? I'm going to spill something?
Yeah.
I mean, aside from everything else, I have to spill something now.
That was like, the cherry on top of all the mess.
And to find that is where, like, you say, this is perfect. This is perfect. And to do like a super peaceful painting. I mean, it's not a mess. Your painting is so not a mess. It's very, very kind of solemn.
Because I also like that you
quiet.
say that, because that's how I felt after I like everything clicked in my head, and I was like, this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
Like I went from here to here. I was like
amazing,
calm.
Amazing.
I mean, I even had the time to take pictures.
Yeah, I know. That's incredible.
Like it was dripping to the floor, and I was like taking pictures super calm, because I was like, okay, like everything needed to happen for this to be the answer I needed. So yeah,
it's what I often speak about when Sally Mann was taking the photos of her children, which some of the best photography in history of photography, I feel. There's a couple. There's one where her son has a bloody nose, and even when like you've had like a
nosebleed,
like in the past couple of weeks, and even that gets me like it's not like super alert, but it gets you nervous. Like, oh my God, are you okay? Like
you feel like you have to act right now.
Yeah, right. It's like, so imagine you're looking at your child and they have a bloody nose.
And you're like, wait, I have to go.
Let me get my view camera, by the way. I mean, it's like my 8x10 view camera, and let me see if we can get a picture out of this. I'm pretty sure we can snap a really nice photograph from this. I remember that, and when she's her eldest daughter, she gets stung by a bee, and she has this super like inflamed eye, and the same thing. It's like, you know what? This would make
an amazing.
Like, you're suffering. Come on, this would make an incredible photograph. And I actually find it, because I'm sure people go like, tend to your children. Come on, you have to like be a mother, not a photographer.
But it's not like they were not being.
I'm sure they were fine.
I mean, yeah.
But I love when everything connects. I love that both of those instincts kind of meet. You know, there's not a single one of those photographs that feels like she was using her children for her own photography.
Yeah, and that
Nothing.
makes sense with what we were talking about, like being honest with your painting.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
because I
God.
think, I mean, that photos are the result of life. I mean,
Yeah.
of her life.
Yeah.
And her life being told.
Yeah.
And she wasn't like making a bee, like taking a bee, like
yeah.
right that to have this sting
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
eye
yeah.
of her daughter so she could take a
Yeah.
picture. No, it's like documenting the
It happened.
life you're living.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's cool about painting.
And she would set up a lot of those paintings. Like I remember I think it's in the Arts 21 that they interview them. They often speak about how she would be a perfectionist. Like I remember one that it's with a picture that's with her youngest daughter, and she has like it's a beautiful picture, the lake in the background, and her hair is actually placed like beautifully on her ribs, on her rib cage. It just kind of flows on her
like
rib cage.
contours?
Yeah, just like there's these little waves on her rib cage of these little like strands of hair that you know that they're just like beautifully designed. And I think the son is the one that says that he was with an oar in the background. Like you couldn't see him, but he would hit the lake because she wanted the lake to ripple, the water to create ripples. And she wanted the perfect ripples to kind of echo.
So it was like
with
a
the
super
hair.
big production.
Yeah,
for
so
it.
it was. Yeah, but even with that, they never felt anything different. Like none of those kids speak ill about their mother. I think they know. Well, kids not like now they're probably in their 30s, but they understand they were part of something bigger than them, which is very tough for a child to understand, I feel.
But they were also being part of their mom's life. I mean,
Right.
because that's what their mom do.
Right.
So
Yeah, but it's amazing. It's amazing. So I just love that part of what just happened. And I think it's the sort of thing that has to happen, or it makes sense when it happens.
yeah,
I don't think that if you would have said, I want to make a painting of a spill that feels like this path, that feels like this road, that kind of disappears right before it gets to the source of the spill. And then you can see, this source, this jar, this glass, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, with a little bit of some of that essence of that road still inside of it. Like, that's a very poetic painting to want to paint. But now that you went through this sort of road to get to this painting, like I can never imagine just sitting down and scribbling and saying, "Oh, I want to," kind of like just visually.
I want to force this too.
Well, let's not say force, because there are people that are brilliant, like picture makers, and there's a ton of people out there that just really work hard on just choreographing every single bit of a picture. But I just, now that it happened with you, like in my brain, I just can't imagine like going another route to try to get to that image. Like, this makes sense. And if you would have told me that you started with the image, and then everything else was just this kind of poetic undertone. Like, it would have been like, I'm totally fine, of course, because it's a super nice, super powerful image, but there's something about it, the way that it came to be, that I think makes it far more us.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to read what I
Yeah.
wrote, because I think that's what like gives a more accurate reading to the painting.
Yeah.
From not like if it gives
Not the only reading.
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. But that's why I said, like, you can have like a tiny peek into my head to know what was like the steps I did to
Yeah.
get to that answer.
The missteps.
The missteps, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, all the tumbles I
Yeah.
had to.
No,
to that.
it's incredible. It's
Thanks.
really beautiful. I'm dying with that soft edge, because it's so different than everything else. And you guys, if you could see like the sharpness, it's very artificial. Also, it just feels there's a way you paint in which things are. I mean, it is paint. It'll always feel like paint, which I love that about the way you paint. But there's a sharpness in there that I'm not saying it's unnatural, but it just feels. It almost feels like you're using what you're painting to say something else. Like it goes through a process of transformation. I don't think I can do that. I don't think I do that.
Well, but I don't
or
think
that
I
well.
can paint the way you paint. I
No,
mean,
we can't paint.
yeah, no,
you know.
no. But what I was trying to say is that for a long period of time when I was studying, the
I have
the mosquito bites.
Yeah, they're driving me nuts.
No, that I was gonna say that for a long time when I was studying, I had the problem, or like the trouble that everyone has, that is like admiring someone so much that you want to have that thing that you see in their painting. Like, you want to do that.
Yeah.
You want your painting to be that. And I remember I always said, like, I don't know why my painting feels this way.
Yeah.
Like, it feels so different to some things that I like. But I think that
Can I make it bigger? Do you mind if I make it bigger?
no, you can.
Yeah. Keep going. I'm
no,
always
no.
listening to you.
No. I was just trying to say, because wait, it's going to cover.
Oh yeah, you know that my editing skills are the worst.
I was
And
gonna
let me-
say that
Give me a second.
I can't.
Perfect.
Focus.
I know. And you're always like, what is he doing?
No, I'm just
Jesus Christ.
curious. No, you have to click the video capture. No, click the name. I mean, click the name so you can adjust. There you go.
Why can't I unlock this? It's already unlocked? Oh.
Yeah, it's unlocked.
My eyes. There we go. Look at that. It deserves to be bigger. It's just such a beautiful. I could even make it bigger, but
No.
anyway, let's leave it like that. Oh, look at our skills.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that.
Design skills. That's what you're gonna.
Terrible.
That's what you guys are gonna get with the book.
No.
Look at the placement
no,
of that
course
text
no.
and the image.
I forgot. Oh no, the.
I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no,
that I
no, 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 no.
interrupted you.
No, I mean, I was like paying attention to what you were doing, so I lost the idea I wanted to say. But I wanted to say that I remember that when I like stopped fighting with the way I painted,
Mm-hmm.
I started appreciating the way I painted, because I think it talks a lot about me, like about my personality, about the way I speak, about the way I think, about a
Yeah.
lot of things that I was like trying to neglect, because I wanted to impose a sort of painting, or like a type of painting that I liked.
Mm.
And that was like trying to, like, I was trying to like to build, but like trying to como digo, como de esconder.
Hide or
Yeah, but yeah, like I was trying to keep the way I speak and the way I am, like like I was
Hidden?
trying to to
Hidden.
keep that hidden. Yeah. While trying to impose something else.
Mm.
And then I understood that it didn't make sense. Because, I mean, I think I am a person that's like super like honest driven. And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm amazing. No, but I love honesty in everything and in every way. I love honesty. And I think it's something that like is part of my personality. I mean,
Yes.
you know, I can't lie.
Can't lie.
I mean, I'm the
You
worst
can lie,
liar.
but you're terrible at it. Yeah.
But that also happened when I was painting.
Mm.
Like I couldn't lie that I was painting something that wasn't
Yeah.
me. And so when I made like pieces,
Mhm.
paz, si se dice así, hice la paz.
Oh, peace with. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was like on peace with my
Yeah, when you made peace with.
yeah, when I made peace with my painting, like I started appreciating a lot
Yeah.
the way it reflected who I
I think
am.
it's amazing. I think like first of all, I'm like, as you know, somebody who loves you, but also as somebody who enjoys what you do, I'm super grateful that you did, because I think that that's where artists can be at their most powerful. Like when they're finally, instead of so concerned with just searching, or imposing, or like copy pasting, or trying to Frankenstein like their own style, or understanding what they do as just this, you know, like accumulation of all these like different, very, very different manners of working. Instead, you know, and what they instead do is just be at peace with who they are. It's amazing. That's when incredible things happen, because you're not trying to sort of garner praise, because you know you can almost like feel that, oh, you know, a lot of people are loving what, you know, she's doing. Maybe if I paint like her, I can get some of that praise.
Mhm.
Maybe, you know, by osmosis, I can, you know, people will get to my work and will start
And feel the same. Yeah,
exactly. And I think we both understand that a ton of those things they feel unearned.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you do get to that place where you know, you find some satisfaction in that sense of approval, it's never long lasting.
No.
Or
And
it never
it's not
like
it doesn't feel sincere.
no
Which is something that I can't.
it'll never
live
be
with,
good.
so.
It'll never be good for you. It will never do any good.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, and I'm not trying to say like I was happy and I wasn't trying to hide the way I painted,
Mhm.
and so I was like everything was like flowers and rainbows. No, because I realized that like just at the beginning of my art career in the university, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be a hard road, but I can only talk about how I see things.
Mhm.
So, because I always felt like I draw something or I painted something, and I thought about the shortcomings I had,
Mhm.
and I felt the way I draw or painted as a shortcoming,
Mm.
because I was at the beginning I was comparing it to different artists.
Mm.
So I was like I couldn't even take the time to see all the good things that my work had, because I was taking all the time to compare it
Yeah.
to the work of others. So when I stopped doing that, I mean, as I said, it was hard,
Yeah.
but I started seeing that they were not shortcomings.
Mm.
That was like my voice.
Yeah,
And
and your
that's-
personality
yeah, and that-
showing through.
That also showed me that I could really appreciate the way someone paints
Mhm.
without trying to be that someone.
Yeah.
Because
I think we were having this conversation in one of the videos maybe last week or the week before. And I think what you're saying, which is something that I agree with you 100%. Some people misinterpret in thinking that then every single voice is fine and then all of it is good and then everything. I don't think that being at peace with yourself does not mean that you're complacent with yourself.
Yeah. Or that you think that you're the best thing that ever
no, not at all.
stepped the
Like,
earth. I
exactly.
mean, it's like,
You can start recognizing who you are, and then you then start the very tough road, which is to push, within the things that you are.
yeah, but that's the important thing. Like pushing what you already are.
Yep.
Not like pushing to try to be X artist
Yeah.
or pushing to try to be this type of painting, but trying to get to know who you are, like who you really, really are,
Yeah.
and try to exalt everything you are by working and by appreciating the way you see things and the way you can communicate things. Because sometimes I think it happens. You're like, I mean, I would love, like, I envisioned the painting to be like this, but it ended up like this.
Yeah.
And if you just like fixate in how you envisioned it, you can't appreciate how it turned out and all the good things that it had as it turned out.
Yeah,
so
100%. I think it's beautiful. I can think
Thank
of
you.
1,000 painters. I think Robin mentioned we haven't
the comments.
read some of the comments, but I think Robin mentioned, hey Robin, by the way,
Hey Robin,
sending you loads of love.
always.
Robin mentioned Alex Katz, which I don't know if you're familiar with Alex Katz, but
I was gonna say yes.
it's very it's very
I
cool.
was,
Yeah.
no, but if I'm being honest, I don't think I have.
I think as soon as you see what he does, you're gonna recognize his painting.
Yeah,
So
I've seen his
that's
work
what I meant
before.
when there's like this sort of artificial quality to it.
Mhm.
And I guess Alex Katz was in the same group that is Fairfield Porter, Louise Dodd, and I think
Amazing
which are
Louise Dodd.
huge painters. By the way, I mean Louise Dodd's influence, because I think Fairfield Porter is enormous, but I think Louise Dodd is like 10,000 times bigger than Fairfield Porter.
But I do
They're both amazing.
like Porter a lot.
Yeah, they're
too.
both amazing. But I think Louise Dodd, like the influence of Louise Dodd's on contemporary painting is just immeasurable nowadays. Immeasurable. I mean, everybody, I almost feel like everyone is rediscovering like the genius that Louise Dodd is. And they're kind of dealing with it in their own terms. But sometimes I think if you look at Louise Dodd for too long, she is a beast. She's going to completely overpower you. And I feel that you have like that subtle touch, but it's so natural to you because there is something, like we say precious. I think we said precious with your last painting. And I think, or at least I felt it and somebody echoed it in the comments. I think it is that, like, and I'm not saying like that there's this, thing that's nothing and you instill it with preciousness through your painting. No, I just think that the care with which you look at something, because I think it's almost like this very pure sense of care. It shows through. I think it's like your paintings are impregnated with that, and that's incredible. That is really incredible.
No, thank you. That's super.
It just shows. It just really, really, really shows. And I think that in that sense, I would say, you kind of remind me of Louise Dodd. Like your painting doesn't have to be a Louise Dodd. It's just that when she painted, it just felt like, oh my God, for that painting, for that moment, like those things belong to her. Like, and again, we're not speaking about ownership, about claiming stuff and saying this is mine and mine alone, but saying that I can understand how to, view my life and reflect upon my life through this, little moment of nature. And I think that's when you can say, I'm going to borrow this. You kind of ask nature for permission to borrow this little moment for a minute. I mean, not a minute. It could be like hours or days or weeks painting, but you just borrow it for a moment and you just say, okay, I'm going to do my painting. And I think that there's a sense of that in what you do, which is, it's really, really, really beautiful. It almost reminds me of Hopper. It just has like this eerie quality also. I'm telling you that the fact that I'm so aware of that gap between spill and source, it's just driving me crazy, like in a good way. You know, I'll keep going back to it a million times. You know, it's amazing. Like, when is a spill not a spill? You know, when is it just the excuse to you know, to get lost in it? I think that's pretty incredible. That's really, really amazing.
I think.
Yeah, I can't do those things. I'm not like, you know, I think I told you this the first day. Like, I'm not saying it's amazing because I can't do it. Like, oh my God, you are so good because you can do the things that I don't. Because I don't want to make it about, you know, I don't want to point it back at me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a matter of that. It's just that the only place that I can speak about painting is through.
It's your own experience.
Through the bond that I have in painting. So I'm very, very much aware of the things that I can do and the things that I can't. And it's like almost, I think that you can sprinkle like little bit of magic onto your painting, and I don't have those sprinkles. Like, you know, your donuts have like sprinkles in them. My donuts are like, you know, just regular Krispy Kreme, nothing on.
Which are the best donuts?
Which are fine, I guess.
For me, the best donuts.
They're fine, but you know, Fed will always pick the ones with sprinkles. So, do you want to read some comments? Do you want to say anything else? I think I've said my piece. I think it's incredible.
Thank you.
I have no clue what I want to do. None whatsoever. None.
Maybe you have to use Maripolvin to vacuum.
I'm going to start to
and
spill
take
shit all over the
selfies in
place.
the bathroom.
I'm going to start spilling stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
No,
be like,
I was just going to
feel
say
something.
I was going to say that it, like, I feel it's important, as I said before, for what I wrote to be there.
Yeah.
So I was going to write that again in a paper.
Oh, yeah.
And
so that would be
whoever
part of the,
that's gonna be
awesome.
part of the correspondence, because I think, like, the image, you have the image, but in my mind, like in my head, I can't detach them.
Okay.
I think
So
they go together. So
perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome.
And I was gonna say thank you, because you said super nice things, like sincere and nice things about my work. So
they'll always come from a loving place, and
but sincere nonetheless, because it's not like, oh, it's loving, so
no.
I think that's never.
I don't think
with us.
I really don't, that the role that we want each other to have in this is just to be critical. Like, some people are like super tough, and they're like, no, be a critical voice. Like, tell me what you think. I don't see. I mean, I much rather talk about it, but I think it's pointless to say, okay, let's find all the things that could possibly be weird and wrong about this, or weak.
That also echoes what I was saying about accepting what you do. Because when you try to critique something, sometimes people go as far as not even appreciating anything about the image, but trying to change the image into something they think it's a better.
Oh, if you would have done this. Yeah.
Like, I know you wanted to talk about this, but you could do this. Yeah. And at the end of the critique, it's like you just changed everything I did. Yeah. Instead of like trying to understand the decisions I took, why I painted the way I painted, why I wanted to say what I wanted to say. You were just like thinking how you would say something that I was trying to say in my own words. Yeah. So,
like, if my idea was yours, that's what you would have done.
Yeah, because that happened a lot.
Oh, it happens. Oh my God,
in the university.
Trust me,
in every
almost
art
like
space,
every single crit that artists get, it's like, well, I don't think you realize this, but if you would have spoken more about, and they go into this diatribe about this other thing.
Because I even remember, I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus. I'm not going to say names, but I remember when I was doing my thesis, which were the wood carvings, that someone said like, I like what you did, but I think you should do a documentary. And this is why, like blah, 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 blah. And they just talked about the idea of the documentary. And I remember I was like, wait, but I'm showing sculptures?
Yeah.
And they're talking like for, I don't know, half an hour about a documentary.
Yeah.
Like they're not even seeing the work I'm showing, but they're talking about what they would do if they were in my shoes, they would have done a documentary, which is like weird because they're talking about their sensibility.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to be like empathetic, I'm sorry, with the sensibility of the person that's showing their work. So
yeah. And I'm sure that if you would have done a documentary, it's like, you know what? This would have been a super nice sculpture.
Yeah. Because I remember that happened when I just had, like in the university, we had a conversation just at the beginning when we were trying to figure what we were going to do. So it wasn't the conversation I had when I showed the finished work, but when I showed the progress and the idea I had. And at that moment, for me, it was so funny because I was like, yeah, that idea is super cool.
It happens a lot.
But I'm saying this, I mean.
Yeah, it happens a lot with painting nowadays. It's almost like the critic's role many times. It's like, well, if this wouldn't have been painting but something else, it would have been a great idea. And you kind of want to burst out and say, why don't we start with the fact that it is painting?
Yeah.
Why don't we all just agree that it is painting, and now we can have a conversation about the fact that it is painting.
Because also the medium in which you want to talk about something. I mean, if you choose painting, it's because painting also means something.
Right.
It's not like a given. It's not like you have to paint and then you have to say whatever you want. But you're choosing to paint something. Right. So that means something too.
Yeah. It's
I
mean, the flaws of thinking that as a human being, like critical thinking to that degree, shows how much more intelligent you are than, the person that you're supposed to be, teaching, that you're supposed to be taking under your wing. And I think that exaggeration, sometimes goes overboard in many institutions.
Yeah.
But why don't we read some comments?
Okay, so let me.
So let's say hello. We said hello to Paul and to Emery.
Then common user 123.
I love that.
Hi, common user. Hi, Alejandro Morales. Margot, Paston, Andres Gomez. Amy said, hello, Nicholas and Danny. Sweet background. Yeah. We have an amazing background.
Yeah.
With all these tattoos.
Yeah. Your painting also has a sweet background. So maybe it's like both things.
No, because I
by the
hadn't
way,
shown
I'm
the
sorry.
things.
But Amy, by the way, is a, killer painter. So she's absolutely amazing. People should check her work. Let me check what her Instagram handle is while you answer.
Okay.
No, I can check here.
So, Robin said, I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Robin. Paston said, that's super, Danny. Thank you so much, Paston. Javi said, great work. Thank you, Javi. Stan said, the composition is incredible.
So I'm going to interrupt you before you go for your rush.
I said so much.
You went my mom. You went Olgis on it with that. So Amy's Instagram, by the way, and we always plug people that we enjoy, so we love doing that, is Amy Eric. So Amy, AMYERICKSN. She
on
is
Instagram.
Yeah, she is an incredible painter. We are super, super lucky to have one of her paintings. She's amazing. She is really, really amazing. So if you like her work, just DM her. Tell her, what do you have available? Like, is it at a gallery? Can I buy it directly from you? And if you can buy a painting from her, you should buy a painting from her. I think she's amazing. So, anyways.
Then we had a bot, I think. Then Margo Delgado dice, preciosa composición, me gusta mucho cómo utilizas el espacio y el vacío.
Muchas
Muchísimas
gracias,
gracias, Margo. Y para mí era muy importante dejar el papel
Bellísimo.
crudo,
Sí.
porque
No,
toda la parte de arriba es el papel crudo.
Ese vacío de arriba es precioso.
Sí, y siento que sí, o sea,
Divino.
desde el principio sentía que
Precioso.
lo necesitaba.
Precious.
Gracias.
My precious.
Alejandro Morales said, Danny, how do you put that mini vacuum cleaner in the corner? Are you sure your corners are clean? Yes, I mean, Mari Polvin has an amazing shape because
her butt
is
comes at
narrow.
Yeah.
So it has
it's not
like
quite a right angle.
It has like tiny brushes here.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, like, if this is the trim, you can put just the tail.
And
just
she
like
does nothing.
this.
Yeah.
And
She'll push
it's amazing.
Dirt around.
No, they are super clean. But I have to say, I don't clean all the trims with Mari Polvin because then it would take like a month to clean the house.
Until I sweep it.
Michael Soros said, Nicolas, are you practicing Buddhist?
No, I'm not. I find a ton of things that are beautiful about Buddhism, but in terms of a religion, no, I'm very much so agnostic. In my best days, I can understand what it means to be spiritual, but I can understand the lessons as lessons that you use in life, without there being like this grander scheme of things that sometimes other religions have. I think that, this is our life, and we are just here for like this tiny little moment, so we have to make the best of it. So, yeah. So I apply a ton of those, very beautiful teachings, but I would never, I wouldn't be honest if I would tell you that I have the personality to be, to think that a religion can completely reflect how I feel. No. Again, at my best, my best days, I kind of feel that there is something, bigger, and that's what gives me access to whatever spiritual means. But I can't say that I'm religious, so.
Shade Black said, hey everyone.
Shade.
Hey Shade, how are you?
Olga Maria Beninhoff.
Yeah, your mom
the
said,
Olgis.
Said, Danny, so good. Congratulations. Y Kata, your sister, said, super Danny.
Yeah, with the
Kata
big
y
emojis.
Olguita, de verdad, muchas gracias.
Yeah.
Voy a decirlo acá en público.
En español.
Porque han estado muy pendientes siempre
Muy
de
pendientes.
mí. Toda tu familia siempre.
Siempre.
Pero pues le agradezco a Olguita y a Kata que con todo lo de la correspondencia han estado súper pendientes. Entonces, muchas gracias. So Robin said,
we were talking
it has
about
a
the
very,
Alex Katz.
Katz
very much.
feel
Yeah,
to it.
I feel that tingly feeling also.
Hi, Liad.
Liad, hi.
Roslyn said, Danny, this is stunning work. Oh, thank you,
Thank you, Roslyn.
Thank you so
As
much.
always, super kind. Thank you.
Julián Rodríguez dice, muy lindo, Dani. Muchísimas gracias, Julián. Oh, something happened with the chat. Salman Brim said, Danny, I relate so much to what you were saying. It's so hard to make peace with yourself and your art. Oh, I'm happy that we all share the same view in art. But I think, you said it's hard to make peace with yourself. And I think that applies with everything in your life.
In life.
And I was also going to say that everything when you create art is also hard. I mean, it becomes something that you know more, and so you know how to handle it, but it never gets easier.
No.
So, but that's, for me, that's the beauty of art.
Yeah.
Like, it's always like a pushing. Like, you have to...
You are pushing me crazy right now with your painting.
Why?
I think you are carrying my overweight gut, across the finish line here. And you're making me really think about about my own work and the limits of my own work, the things that I can actually say, and how if I wanted to answer kind of like in the same wavelength that you're proposing, I just couldn't. So I have to also, remind myself that I can't do the things that you do. I'll fail miserably at them. I will. 100%. Like 100 out of 100 times.
And I would fail if I try to do the things you do.
So,
because also
you're getting me very nervous to do
and
the
I
painting.
also I don't know if you remember, but last Monday when we end the stream, I told you like I absolutely love the painting you do. I have no idea how to answer to that.
Well,
And
ditto
to feel-
today.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, this is I think it's more painful than we thought.
Well,
I
for
just
me,
think-
last Monday for me was super painful. I was like,
but you should
I don't know how
throw me a
to.
bone. Like,
No,
give me something easy to work with.
no, that's what I was thinking last Monday. I was
Yeah.
like, now
Come
how
on.
can I do something that feels like an answer to that painting,
I know.
which felt
no, you're
like so
mm,
amazing
no.
to me.
Oh, and
So,
by the way,
what?
how long did it take for you to do this?
3 days, which is
Hmm.
absurd for
Not
me.
Really?
No,
How
for
is it
me,
absurd?
because I always
You did
take like
you did an amazing painting in like half the time that you think you need to do an amazing painting.
yeah, but I also like for me it
and
was
you
all.
spilled something.
I thought it was all like super poetic. Because I thought, I mean, I was talking about time. And when I was painting, I was like, I don't know if I'm done. Because for me, it always takes a lot of time
Mm-hmm.
to see the image that I'm trying to paint.
Mm-hmm.
But with this painting, it was different.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't fought with that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was talking about the time that things need from you and not the things you want to impose.
Yep.
The time you want to impose. So for me, it was like a realization, not only the spill of the tea, but realizing that sometimes I don't have to spend, I don't know, 60 hours painting something.
Yeah.
But maybe some paintings that I do can take shorter than I think, like a
Yeah.
shorter period than
Yeah.
what I thought I would
Which
need.
is, it's great because it just shows you that this thing that you always thought about yourself, that, oh, I need more time and I can't do this in this amount of, like, in this time frame. Like, none of those things are true, to be honest. But it also, there's going to be a painting where both you and I are probably going to need twice the time. And even like if we were given twice the time, it just wouldn't have seemed like,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been like a great painting. And
Yeah.
and sometimes those days are super tough, but we have to say, you know what? That's also painting.
Yeah.
It's almost, if I can make a parallel between that and football, because we have to.
Yeah.
Um,
Always inaccurate
You know how,
comparison.
and sadly with Colombia, like there's matches that sometimes there's a saying that says, we could play for 90 more minutes and we're not going to score.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're never going to score. Or we could play for 180 more minutes and we're never going to score. Sometimes paintings, I feel, are like that. Like
Yeah.
you could paint them for 5 more weeks.
And
It's just
you're
not gonna
never
happen.
going to be.
It's not the
Happy.
time for that painting.
Yeah.
It's just not the time. Or maybe that painting was there to show you that you needed to struggle for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
That's what that painting was there. Like the universe said, this painting has to exist so that you
You can understand
for the
this.
necessary struggle that you need right now.
Yeah.
And I think that those are going to feel very different from this one, which I think it's just everything kind of like everything fell
It was like a
sort of
puzzle.
like
It
tragically
was
in place.
like, yeah, it was, everything was like,
Yeah.
like
like
getting together in the perfect place. I mean,
like a Tetris of tragedy.
yeah.
Tragitris.
But it wasn't like tragedy. It
No,
was like
small
a calm.
like small crises. That's
Yeah.
why I called them like micro tragedies.
Yeah. No. Because I was going to say that when I started the Tetris,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in the tragedy anymore. Like
Oh,
I
cool.
was like collecting all the pieces of the tragedy I was living before,
Yeah.
but I was like making them fit perfectly
You
to
took all the
understand why.
Rubik's cubes little pieces and made I don't know. I'm just I don't know
Yeah.
why we're going
was
with like
Twisting the
yeah,
Rubik
I don't
cube
know.
too. Yeah.
It's terrible. Let's get us out of here.
Marcelo Peralta said, "When is a spill is not a spill. It's a great Dune reference. LOL." Liad said, "Reminds me of David Hockney a bit,"
No, those
which
are
for
flowers.
me is like
Huge.
if they're. It's not. It's like a garden for me. It's not like throwing
Yeah.
flowers, because David Hockney for me.
Oh, Danny
is,
adores David
yeah,
Hockney.
I
Yeah.
think he is like
Yeah.
over here. Yeah.
Yeah, huge.
Amazing. I
Yep.
love everything
Yep.
he does. So thank you, Leah. That was a super, super big compliment for me. Robin said, "Danny, you're very articulate about your work, both conceptually and practically."
I 100% agree.
Thank you, Robin. That's so nice to hear, because I think that's why that's the best feedback that I could get from my work.
Excellent.
Like that it feels like it has a reason why it is how it is.
I think
Like,
this painting.
because that for me is like it feels honest.
Yeah.
And that for me is like the best compliment. So thank you.
I think your painting today feels effortless because everything was right about it. I also say those are very special paintings. I mean, if you can do that consistently, oh my god.
No, but that's why
that's amazing.
That's why I also think it's important. And I've said this phrase like 1,000 times, but like it was like in my brain
Yeah.
since I realized that, and it's about time. Yeah, like the time the things need. I mean, this painting needed that,
Yeah.
and that's how it was.
I'm
but as you
so
said,
gonna whiff this week.
no.
Oh my god.
But that's why I say that, for example, if something needs a lot more from me,
Yeah.
that's what I have to give to that painting.
Yeah.
So
You would have ruined our little vacation, but yeah.
mm,
100% whiff next week for me.
Liad said, "Robin, well put. I agree. It's great to hear how Danny thinks. Thank you so much." Eric Van Elven said, "Beautiful." Thank you so
Eric.
much, Eric. Jeannie Cadau said, "I love it, but it makes me curious what the liquid or powder is. I don't know if I'm supposed to know, but it's interesting." Oh, tea, of course. Beautiful, and I love hearing your insights. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
telling the story about peach tea.
Yeah, so maybe if you have just joined the stream, I think
You can rewatch
this
it and
painting makes sense if you listen to the part I was reading.
or from the start, like the beginning of the video.
Yeah.
We're not trying to have like double
No,
views.
I mean-
like we just think that it's a pertinent moment of the painting, actually.
Robin said, "Your writing of your thought process, decision making, and discernment was a great share." Thank you so much,
Agree
Robin.
again.
Sean L. Kopech said, "Hello, everyone."
Hey, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
And
Ebenezer.
Ebenezer. Yeah. This is cool. Thank you, Ebenezer.
And they're saying, "Thank you for doing this."
Oh no, this is
No, thank
this
you
is
for
awesome.
joining us.
I
in
know
our
this is like
conversation.
I know this is weird a little bit. This would be more podcasty, I
Do you
feel.
think?
I feel, but I think that it also helps to have, there is a visual part
Mhm.
of what we do that, all these conversations, like we said, it's like oro oro, like a snake that eats its own tail. Like it starts with the image, then it, kind of
Goes to the
develops through the
conversation.
conversation that kind of spurs
Like
another image.
mutates into the image,
Yeah,
and
it just
goes
goes and
around.
goes and
yeah.
goes. So I think the visual, like if it was just like a podcast, I don't think it would quite work.
No.
Like we need to have this kind of visual aid for people to get like a fuller context of what we're doing. Should we show? Do you have?
Yeah, I have it.
Mine, so that people can see the two paintings, the little pair for this week.
So wait.
I could do that if you want. It's probably easier for me because you're like.
No, wait. I think. What?
I
There
could
you
do
go.
this.
No, there it is.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's make us like a little
Yeah.
smaller so that we are.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, our faces are taking way too
Editing,
much.
super smooth editing
Yeah.
skills.
That's so weird. I love this. And they're same size, right?
They are. I
Same
think.
size. Yeah. Yep.
Your is the cutted, like the half of the big one,
Is it half of? Yeah, it's half.
but mine is not half of a big one.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
no, it's not half. It's a sketchbook that's that size.
Oh.
I have a sketchbook that's that size. So
I have a feeling that it's like.
can I
look at
try
them.
to take the one?
Well, of course,
with it?
yeah, sure. But I have a feeling, Danny, that they're the same size. I mean, I could be super off. I was off about the size of the. Yeah, same size. Same size.
See,
So, we're good.
Yeah, because I didn't cut the paper.
Oh, I always like do a horrible job at cutting my paper. I'm sure that maybe one of the things that people that buy our paintings realize when they get the paper is like it's gnawed off. Like it's almost as if we hire like a rat to
What?
to cut the paper. It's not quite Ashley Wood. I don't know if you've seen the boards in which Ashley Wood paints.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! It's as if he like took a butter knife and he tried to cut like a piece of masonite. It is so bad. It's incredible.
But for example, in your painting, I think that like raw
Oh, the
edge
the top part I like.
was like
I like doing that because it's I mean I'm not
like it felt as if like it was meant to be
Yeah.
in that paper.
Yeah.
Like it's part of the painting.
yeah that one of the few times actually when that happens. The other times I don't mind because it's kind of like my attitude and I think it's part of the reason of
Using raw paper and
yeah,
everything.
and behind
I mean,
the nature of these paintings. But many times, so I'll leave the tape. You know me, I'll cut the tape, but I'll leave the little bit of tape. And so I like those things. I kind of like it. I almost understand those things as my signature. Like those things speak more about me than a signature ever would, I feel. But in this one in particular, I was like, oh, I really like it. I actually really, really like it. So... yeah, it's amazing. I love what we're doing.
I
really
it too.
do.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's great. I don't care if it's great.
No, but it's
It
great
feels
for
important
us.
for us.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like we're having conversations, not conversations that we wouldn't have,
No.
but we're like having a space where
Yeah.
we can have these
Which is super important.
conversations, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's super
And I
important
think-
because
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, you finish.
Now I was gonna say that we're a couple that talks a lot,
Yeah.
and we talk about like important things, dumb things, we make jokes, whatever. But it's super cool to have like a date with ourselves
Yeah.
every week
Yeah.
to talk more about our work
Yeah.
and how we think about things and how we reflect about things.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say exactly the same thing. Connected.
yeah.
So can I read the last one? Maybe?
Go ahead.
Or Ginny, I think, said, definitely I'll go back. It just has an awesome texture feel about it. I totally agree.
Thank you, Jeannie.
There's a very clean but painterly, like if you were able to see the painting, it's very, very painterly but very immaculate. That's the vibe I get when I see the actual painting. So it's pretty incredible. My paintings always look like a butcher did.
No,
Yeah.
of course no.
And I
mean,
have like
look at the painting you did.
I mean, a
It's
butcher
like-
that at night does some sort of surgery,
No.
so he has like a
No,
light touch.
you know,
But
'cause I love
it's butchery.
no, and I love
Butchery.
no, I love when we can see both of our paintings or both of the works we do, because it talks about two different sensibilities,
Yeah.
but it's not like one sensibility is more powerful than the other. It's just like it talks about you
Yeah.
as a person, and it talks about me as a person.
And we're not.
that's amazing.
You know what's really cool? I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen when we keep going. I think the exercise can turn super interesting the more we go.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not trying to match each other.
No.
We're not. Like, honestly, I'll just take a lot of what we talked about today. I'll take a really good look at your painting, after we finish, because I really want to sit and look at it. And then that's it. Then it's like I'm off. In the same way that you were just off, like exploring, I'm going to be off. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to feel pressure with your painting for sure.
Oh, I felt
But
super pressured
yeah.
with your painting.
I love the little orange, the fact that we both had that tiny orange.
Yeah.
Like it's really amazing.
The lower part
I like that.
is like a kind of
I like
triangle
that. Yeah,
shape.
even if we don't want to, like we're always gonna have tiny little things that connect us.
Also, now that I see them, the
Yeah.
composition kind of looks.
They're bottom they're
your
bottom heavy in
Yeah.
very different ways, I feel.
No, yeah, and I was saying like the triangle, like the two orangey triangles,
Mhm.
and the position of the glass
Yeah.
is kind of the position
Almost
where the
at the
line
same
goes.
tangent that
Yeah.
goes up, the perpendicular that goes up in mine.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Cool,
Like,
because I didn't thought about that
yeah,
before.
there's gonna be some things that we share,
Yeah.
and there's gonna be other things that, like, I think my space is enclosing, and I think your space is inviting.
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself, that gives me like a super different vibe as to the nature of each image. So yeah, I like that.
I like it.
So
I love this
Edward,
exercise.
I like it too. I love it. I love it.
I
Yeah, because
no.
you don't like.
I said I love it.
Yeah.
You said I like it.
But my like is very synonymous with love. You know that. But you like if I say love more than like.
No, it's just that I use it super different.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I know. But
like-
you know that if when I say I like it, it's
I
like
like
really
soup.
like it.
I love hamburger. So it's different.
Okay.
But
I like pizza. I like this exercise.
okay.
That is like highest praise for me.
Okay.
You know, that you can't go. There's nothing above that. Like, I kind of like my children. So Edward says, I get so much from your videos always. Today especially really helping me keep my painting going. Oh, awesome. That's
yeah.
if we can service company, that is one of the pleasures that we have.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Because
think
also
that-
you've been our company.
Yeah, I think that
For these
something
2
we
years.
seek ourselves when we work is also company. So if we can provide that to other people, excellent. Ebenezer says, "Oh wow, thank you." Like, I'm gonna say thank you for Danny. By the way,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is not like I'm not claiming the thank you.
No, I
but,
mean
I'm just saying thank you.
And when I read the comments, I react for you. So
Danny, I think you and Uglo would
But
think this is
Michael
amazing.
Soros.
Oh, Michael Soros. Danny, I think you and Uglo would think this is amazing.
wow.
That's high praise.
Again,
He was-
amazing flowers.
He was nuts, but he's a hell of a painter. I love him. I love Uglo, but he
They
was
were
nuts.
saying, I love how quiet it is. Our world needs more quiet. That's super
Very
nice.
Very nice.
I love to see like the reading of like the reading people
The way
gives
people
to
read.
my paintings. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think that's amazing.
Ginny says, so cool the relationships and contradictions between them. Wonderful. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah. And you guys just make me happy.
oh,
that's
thank you, Jeannie. That's so nice.
Irvin says, Irvin, how you doing? I think we hadn't say Irvin. Hi, guys. I've been so busy. What is your thought process when thinking composition on small works versus larger works? Saludos. Do you think differently?
I don't.
Me neither.
Because
No.
also I think that like we don't have to answer to any sort of format right now.
Right.
So depending on what I want to say, like when I get the idea of what I want to say, I have the format in my head.
Right.
Like I have some images that I think would speak about the thing that I want to say about that image in a larger or in a smaller format. But I don't think different in composition. Like, oh, I want to do a larger one, so I have to compose different and I have to... No. I just think what fits what I want
Right.
to communicate more. So
I think, and I don't know if you agree with this, but composition in terms of design is super abstract. It's incredibly abstract because it's just the placement, of all these forms inside the picture plane. Like if we're talking about two-dimensional art. And that, I mean, in that very abstract sense, that is, that is not tied to dimensions, to physical dimensions. It's only tied to ratios. So if you're doing if you're painting something on a 2-to-3 ratio or on a 3-to-4 ratio, like it doesn't really matter. Like your design, the abstract qualities of your design are not really going to be affected by anything outside, how tall something is as opposed as to how long something is or how wide something is. But I do believe, because if you think, for example, Anselm Kiefer, like Kiefer's paintings have to be huge. They just have to.
But that's why I say they make sense to what he is trying to communicate.
Yeah, exactly. So there are there are abstract elements that have to do with design that can be amplified, which doesn't mean that it just makes them naturally better. No, but that can be amplified if, for example, when you want to propose this image to a viewer, the role of the viewer is to just inhabit this work of art, to like physically inhabit. So if you look up, you're going to look at the work of art. If you look down, you're going to still look at the work of art. If you look left and if you look right, you're surrounded by this work. That is very different. I think that that's when, other variables come into play. But in terms of like the rawest, most simple idea of composition, like it is just about the placement of, forms, the disposition of forms, within a picture plane. And how that disposition enables you to control the way a viewer is going to
read your image,
to traverse your image. But then, it is about the interaction, the physical interaction that you want with the viewer, because sadly, and we have to acknowledge that this is a sad part, only the person that's going to be able to see these couple of paintings physically, IRL, they're going to have like a very distinct experience that, maybe, and I'll say, for example, none of us would if we had the painting in front of us. It happens with me. Like I've told you that I've never seen a Ruprecht von Kaufmann painting in my life, in real life. I've never seen, and he's my favorite contemporary painter for sure. And
it feels different. Like you read the painting super different.
I am positive, like those enormous paintings of his, like if I experienced that would, like the appreciation that I have would be about that. And if I saw them, I think my world would expand. My understanding of that world would expand.
Yeah, and I was going to say that even happened with the Benjamin Björklund.
Yeah.
We have.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've seen that image on Instagram.
Yes.
And we've liked it and we've saved it because we loved that image.
Yeah.
But having it, like feeling the materiality of the painting.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And understanding how they are like 10
brush strokes. Yeah, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but Ben is...
It's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
Like the reading of the painting, as you say, it like expands.
Yeah.
To
and
1,000
super, like,
when you can
arbitrary stuff. Did you remember that that Ben only varnished or put like oil on top of the head?
Yeah, and it has like a tiny drop.
And then it's almost as if he put the oil, but
and
then flipped the painting, like rotated it 90
so
degrees.
The drop is going down.
Yeah, but it goes to the side.
Yeah.
Because he moved the painting. Those little things, they mean so much.
Yeah.
I mean, they have nothing to do with like, oh my God, it's an amazing portrait and I love the color scheme.
No,
which
it's
is
about
like
the
pinks.
experience of.
But it's just like
painting and viewer.
Right, and it just reminds you that it's a painting.
Yeah.
It reminds you perfectly that it's a painting, and I think that's one of the most beautiful aspects
Yeah.
of painting, when it can just...
And it feels more human. Like
yeah.
you can
Yeah.
like you can kind of it's like if you were having a conversation
Yeah.
with the person who did that image. Like
Oh,
you
you can get to
can
know...
see all the decisions they were
and you
making.
can get to know that person so well through that. Like, even with Ben has like the most, poetic sense of carelessness that you'll ever meet.
I mean,
like,
even
you'll
with-
ever see in an image.
Even like I loved
The way he
so much
packed it.
Yeah, the
It
way
was-
he shipped it. Like I didn't want it to take it out of the package.
Oh no, it was...
Because it was like so precious,
Yeah,
I would
it-
say.
it was-
amazing.
It
I mean,
was this gorgeous mess, and the painting, reached us. What in my view is perfect. It's
Yeah.
perfect. And for example, the painting has been pressed against the stretchers, so it's actually kind of torn in a little bit because there's been pressure on the painting, and I'm sure other people would be like, "Oh my God, the painting's kind of ruined," or "Oh, there's a tear in the painting."
no, that's why we
For
love
us,
it more.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
For us, it's like that is the most beautiful tear
Yeah, I remember
ever.
we were like looking at all the tiny
Yeah.
things, and everything was like incrementing the
Yeah.
love we had
You know
for
who
the
does
painting.
that too? Howie.
Howie, oof, yeah.
A painter friend of ours from here.
Amazing.
Yeah, he
Howie,
does
te
that.
queremos mucho siempre.
He does that. Yeah, he does that. He has this natural sense of like how something can retain its very trashy, beautiful nature, but he also says, "But I'm gonna paint the hell out of you. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna paint these gorgeous things on
And
top of you."
It reads like a poetic mess.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
it's perfection to me.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you don't even read it as mess
Mm.
because it feels like it was meant to be.
Oh yeah.
Again, as I
For
said
sure.
for all the stream, it feels honest, so it just like gives more to the painting.
Yes.
It never takes out of the painting.
Never.
Because it makes
Never
sense.
a flaw.
It
It's
makes sense with the artist and the painting, so
Yeah.
it's like the perfect
But
combination.
I think that we both have like we're both on the same wavelength, that we're not looking for like a perfect, like a flawless frame,
Oh no, never.
and then this beautiful varnish on this gorgeous painting. I actually don't know if we have anything, if of all the things that we've bought, we
No,
have anything.
And we have
that
things
looks like
that
that.
are super like carefully done,
Yeah.
but it makes sense with the
Yeah.
person who did that image. So
But even like Grace also,
yeah.
when she sends stuff, it's like the graphite or the charcoal rubs against the other drawing, and it's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's like having Grace right next to you, saying like I am
This
in
is-
my drawings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
amazing.
And also,
Anyways,
yeah,
yes.
no, I was
Go
going to
ahead, go
say
ahead.
that like if in your personality you have like that super needy thing, like super square, no, not square, but like super clean,
Yeah.
like not messy at all.
Yeah.
It makes sense with your work, and we also love
Like
that.
Alejandra.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, we
and
have a
Alejandra's
friend-
work is absolutely amazing, and it's like
Immaculate.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But for example, for someone like Benjamin
Oh.
or Javi,
No.
like if it was like completely immaculate, it wouldn't make sense because
No.
it would feel imposed.
Yeah, I think it would give them anxiety.
Yeah.
So
No, and if you read it, you would feel like something's off.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Like there's a gallery telling them you have to clean this up, or you
Yeah.
have to make them
like
nicer.
like they had to change the way they really communicate in art
Yeah.
because someone told them
Just to fit like
it doesn't feel natural.
a
so
market, like a bigger market.
yeah.
Julián says, las pinturas de Dani son muy delicadas y las de Nicolás las siento con más peso, como yo. Esa es la panza.
Ay,
Sin embargo, las amo por igual. Bueno,
muchas gracias.
algunas veces, yo voy a decir que muchas veces siento que las de Dani pueden tener mucho más peso y las mías pueden ser
Más
delicadas
delicadas, sí.
dentro de lo que soy capaz de hacer.
Por eso te digo, es que
Mm,
creo que igual es como, o sea, la verdad, comparar tu trabajo con el mío es como comparar el básquetbol con el hockey. O sea, no, pero ¿me entiendes?
está
O
bien,
sea,
está bien, sí,
son
sí.
cosas tú y yo tenemos unas sensibilidades muy distintas.
Muy distintas.
Y no solo tú y yo, o sea, cualquier artista, si lo
Cualquiera
comparas
do-
con
cualquiera-
otro, exacto,
cualquiera
cualquier comparación entre dos artistas,
pero traté de decir cualquiera dos artistas. Cualquiera dos, ¿se puede decir?
no sé, suena muy raro, ¿no?
Cualesquiera doses.
No,
No,
¿doces? ¿Y treces? No, pero lo que iba a decir es que es como de verdad cuando dicen comparar peras con manzanas.
Sí.
O sea, es algo muy distinto. Y lo que tú dices, yo siento que a veces las tuyas, yo siento que esta pintura tuya es súper delicada.
Yo me sentí como un cirujano.
Súper delicada. Y yo creo que habla de delicada desde tu sensibilidad.
Sí.
Y yo creo que mi pintura habla de algo delicado desde mi sensibilidad.
Sí.
Que como son completamente distintas, nunca se van a poder leer como lo mismo.
Sí.
Pero pueden hablar de lo mismo, pueden hablar de algo delicado o de algo que tiene peso o de miles de cosas, pero pues nunca van a ser iguales porque es que tu voz y mi voz no son las mismas.
No.
Entonces,
Olguita, both are great.
ay, gracias, Olguita.
That's why I collect Nicolas Uribe.
Said Robin. Thank you,
Robin, we have to, and I told her the other day, she's the queen. She's our
Oh
queen.
yeah, Queen Robin.
She is, Robin is, I think, our Painted Lives biggest collector. She's been super, super kind
Yeah.
for over the past 2 years. And she continues to be super generous with, whenever you write something nice,
Yeah.
whenever you want to keep us company in our live videos. But
And in Instagram.
yeah,
Because I wrote back to Robin. You know I'm terrible answering to
terrible.
like DMs or WhatsApp, whatever. I mean, I'm terrible. But Robin wrote a message that was like super heartwarming. And I loved it, but I saw the message like 2 months after she wrote it. So I was like, Robin, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I was so happy to read it. And I wrote back. Because Robin is always super, super
Yeah.
nice and like super sweet
Yeah.
and loving with us.
We're very lucky, I feel.
Yeah.
We're very lucky because we have found in our community, and to be part of what we understand as like our small community or small kind of little family, doesn't mean that you have to, to be like Rosalind or Robin that, support us.
Like super active. Because I
Yeah.
also think that there's a lot of people here that can comment just one video, but they're so nice that we always remember what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like we always feel the love they're giving to us.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Yeah. So anyways, we're always super grateful. We always try to convey that to everyone. So thank you. Eric says, guess I shouldn't worry about hairs in my painting. Oh no, like dog hair? I can't tell you how much dog hair when I was working at my mother's place. There was always a dog in my mother's place. So I am 100% sure that every single one of the paintings that I did for, whenever I was working at my mother's has dog DNA in it. 100%. 100%. I would love if we were all like erased from this earth and aliens came down and we were like examining the
dogs
paintings and it's
were
like, oh
artists.
my God.
Dogs
This
painted.
thing with paws painted these things, like painted like these other beings that, are not here anymore. But I would love that. Anyways, Irvin says, Dani, increíble obra, amo el diseño y la composición, pero la fortaleza más grande a mi criterio fue la paleta, una paleta bellísima, sí.
Gracias.
Ese frío, esos fríos azules, grises, claritos, contra el complementario, que sería como es tierra naranja, espectacular. Nicolás, amo esas reflexiones de la madera en el zócalo, creo. Que era como una manera que le estábamos... creo que descubrimos que así se le dice
decía?
también.
Sí.
Sí.
Al guardaescobas.
Increíble verlas lado a lado.
Muchas gracias, Irving.
Callum, as always, fashionably late. Hey all, Danny, this reminds me of Hockney.
Woo!
So
no,
you're late with that.
I'm
I think
gonna
Liad...
sleep like
Liad beat you.
Smiling.
I'm going to sleeping.
I'm gonna sleep smiling today.
That's very nice. It's going to be freaky, but... Yeah, I'm going to turn at 2 a.m.
And I'm like...
What the... I'm going to call an ambulance. Yes, we love you. Oh, that's very sweet.
No,
so,
thank you, everyone.
we should finish with that. We should
Yeah,
always
thank
finish,
you, everyone.
A day with "We love you." We can finish there. That's pretty
Yeah.
nice. So, we're gonna put this up in. For those of you who don't know, maybe are watching for the first time, we have a webpage that serves as a storefront. These are gonna be offered as one because we are one.
As a pair, yeah, because we are a pair.
Amazing.
A couple.
Yes. So, it just wouldn't be cool to like detach them.
And it wouldn't make sense.
No, not at all, not at all. So these are going to be up give me, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, and I'll put them up.
We're gonna upload it, or I'm gonna upload that to my Instagram.
Oh, upload it to Instagram. Yeah.
If you also want
gorgeous,
to
gorgeous.
check it out there.
Yes. And up there, Danny, follow Danny. Don't follow me. Follow Danny. Look at her. She's kicking my butt here with this exercise.
What are you talking about?
Putting some pressure. So now it's my turn. And for those of you who are somewhat unfamiliar, what is going to happen now is that I have to try to answer to Danny's painting, which is on the on your right.
The glass.
Yeah.
The glass that's
the jar
spilling.
with the road of spill. I have to try to answer to that next week. So next week I'm going to present my painting on Monday. So we'll see how that goes. Horribly for me, I'm sure.
No. Please.
But that's it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. For those of you who don't know and maybe are just checking us out for the first time, we do live videos Mondays through Thursdays.
Yeah.
So
Monday is this conversation.
Yeah, Monday is this, what we're calling like visual correspondence.
Yeah.
And Tuesday through Thursday, we do live painting. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing some live painting. Probably going to be still forcing that raw sienna upon myself. And we'll see if I can start to earn some of the beautiful qualities that it has to offer to me. So we'll see. But that's tomorrow. So we'll see you guys tomorrow around the same time. We always say 1:30.
Sometimes it's like 1:35.
Let's say around
1:40.
1:30. Like pay attention at 1:30.
Yeah.
Have an alarm set at 1:30.
Yeah.
And we're always like 1:38.
Yeah, because sometimes it takes a little bit longer to
camera work.
like put the camera on the tripod and everything.
It's terrible.
But it's always around that time.
That time. Yeah, it's never going to be like 3:30.
Yeah.
So, so we're going to do that tomorrow. We can concentrate on this. Tomorrow, Colombia plays with Argentina. But we're not going to make it to the World Cup. I mean, it's a
We
sad...
still love our
my God.
team.
Oh.
I mean,
always, forever.
we will always love.
Always proud.
We would always love our
proud,
team.
but we also recognize that it is not a good moment for our team.
No.
For our country in these qualifiers.
But still, we're gonna be screaming to the
course.
TV.
I mean,
like
I
super
say,
excited
like
for
rationally,
our team.
like the 99.9% of my body and brain are saying we're not making it to the World Cup. Like it's not supposed to be like.
But like the
a
part
World
of
Cup.
your brain that's connected to your heart.
0.01, it's like
yeah.
hell yes.
Please.
Everything in the
Let's
universe
do it.
is gonna work for our
It's gonna puzzle
advantage.
So
Yeah, it's gonna Tetris. We're gonna Tetris our way to the World Cup, but I don't think it's gonna be easy. So tomorrow we're gonna suffer a bit in the afternoon with that match. Random question, Alejandro's to finish. Do you think Hellboy's giant hand comes from Popeye? No. If you want, we'll talk. I can talk a little bit about. Well, I mean that's a joke. I know. Yeah, I actually have a Popeye. It's a beautiful Mezco Popeye and Brutus. It was for us in Spanish. Popeye y Brutus. That I absolutely love.
you want me to bring it to you?
We could show the Popeye. I think it's great. Popeye. He has like the spinach. Look at that. Look at that Popeye. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You can even see like the vapor.
Yeah.
out.
The pipe, the little smoke coming out of the pipe.
Amazing.
Yeah,
And
he
the
has, I think he
details.
has like the spinach there.
I mean, you can even see the like the veins
And
in
is
the
it, the
arm.
forearm, like Popeye's forearms that are like that.
Yeah.
They're incredible. Yeah, that little sculpt toy figure, whatever you want to call it, I don't care, is incredible. So, yeah, we can speak about the Hand of Doom tomorrow if you want. I can talk about Hellboy. I just bought, because I didn't have that Hellboy book. I have a ton of others, but the all the covers. I actually bought it.
Yeah,
That's
I
one
saw
of the
it.
books that
I saw it.
yeah, all the Magnolia covers. So I'm super, super happy to have that, because I always know them and I always reference them in my brain. You can't find, well, maybe you can find all of them in some weird comic book like registry thing, but
it's cool to have them all
in
in
a
one
book?
place.
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah.
And with that, I was gonna say
Yes.
that for those of you who don't know,
up
we have our
here. Let's make it
book.
bigger.
Go ahead.
I mean,
It
we
says-
never plug it, but
No, it's that one.
the
That
new live.
Yeah.
So let's make this a little
So,
bit bigger.
Uh,
Woo!
no, Nicolas.
Hell yeah. Fa
No.
fa fa.
No, because you can't read.
Fa fa fa. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways,
Because you can't read what
so
it says.
we have
our Kickstarter book campaign, which is I was gonna go ahead.
You go ahead. You
It is a kind of like you can see there what you were doing.
like an idiot.
It is a collection of a lot of works we did for the past 2 years
Yeah.
with our project, and it's gonna be a 200 pages
Yeah.
book,
Yeah.
hardcover,
Yes.
and we're gonna give the best of ourselves
Yeah. We're gonna make
In-
an awesome book.
in
Guaranteed.
designing the book.
Yeah.
So if you want to, you can still support the campaign
Yeah.
in the Kickstarter, and if you want, in the description of this video, there's the link you can follow to
Yeah,
check out our
perfect.
campaign.
Yeah. So
So thank you
We're good?
everyone. Like I have to say again, as I said the last answer, I really, really want to thank every comment that you say to my work, because it's amazing for me to know that there's people appreciating the things that I do. Not because, I mean, if you wouldn't like what I do, I would still do it, but it's like super heartwarming to know that you have been super nice and super welcoming with my work. So yeah, thank you everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.
tomorrow. What is that? It's an amazing painting, Danny. It is. Yeah.